It is Tuesday, the 30th of July. Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan, and thanks for joining us as we track the snow, the rain, the showers, the thunderstorms, the frosts, and yes, the clear skies too. So let's start off with the 6 o'clock this evening airflow. Look at this wintry southeasterly coming into the South Island. More heavy snow carries on along the eastern side of the ranges and the foothills, and it moves into the ranges of the lower North Island overnight tonight, and then across Wednesday and Thursday as well. So the colder airflow comes in. It's more of a southerly to southeasterly for the lower part of the North Island. It's more of a southeasterly for Canterbury and an easterly for parts of Otago. The low pressure zone out to the west here mixes that all up, but it's still bringing down this subtropical airflow for the northern part of the country. It's not as big as the one that's moving away though, the one that went past Fiji. That is tracking eastwards around that high. So this low is still driving in warm weather at one end of the country, colder weather at the other end. So let's take a closer look at what is going on overnight tonight and for the next 48 hours. This is 3 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. There is the low pushing rain down into the North Island as that southerly comes into it. And you've got the high pressure zone out here over Australia. So let's animate the next 48 hours. You'll see the high expand and the low being pushed northwards. And as it does that, the skies start to dry out over the South Island, and that's why frosty weather is on the way. But before the frosts arrive, there is more snow. This is the next 48 hours from Tuesday morning through to Thursday morning. And as you can see, that heavy snow is along the eastern side here, especially in these areas with pink and purple shading. Keep up to date with the Met Service severe weather warnings. They'll tell you how much snow is on the way for these places. Then you can also see the dusting along the mountains and ranges here, especially around Central Plateau. Desert Road might get a dusting of snow on it as well, especially as we go into the later portion of Wednesday night, and then going into Thursday morning. Now this is the map that shows where the snow is likely to settle. In the pale blue, it won't be very much, but it might go even lower than this. Sometimes overnight, the timing of it can help drop that snow level down another 50 to 100 meters sometimes, and even a downdraft just with a local snowy sort of squall that comes through, that can also drop it below what is forecast. So that's just sort of the disclaimer around the edges, but this is what we are expecting at this stage. Frosty weather comes in behind all of this. As we have the last day here of July, Wednesday, purple shows where those widespread frosts are. As we go into Thursday, the 1st of August, even more widespread, and they spread out even further as we go into the weekend. -5, -6, -7, possible through some of these parts of the South Island's interior. And the North Island not as frosty as you can see because of the cloud, the wind, and the milder airflows, especially coming down from the north. So let's have a look at Wednesday's setup, the actual forecast now. There is that low, and here is the powerful high that's controlling a lot of it. So that high stretches out, and it goes further out to sea now to the east. So the wintry change coming in has to turn around and come all the way back in. And when it goes sideways like that, it doesn't keep a lot of its colder side to it. It can warm up. And when I say that, I mean it warms up a degree or two, but that degree or two makes all the difference when you're talking about heavy snow. And that's why we're not seeing snow to sea level, because it's got this journey to come in from the east. If it was straight off Antarctica as a southerly, it would be a different story. But the shape of that high, sort of on this weird twisted angle, is the reason why it is coming in as an easterly, and even down into Southland as a northerly. We've still got a northerly at the top of the country. That's a milder one than the one you're getting down here. And this is obviously rain and snow as it moves into the central part of the country, with that snow falling in the mountains and ranges of the lower North Island. Temperature-wise, on Wednesday, warmer than average still for the top of New Zealand. Temperatures are dropping a little bit more here through central areas, but look at this blue shading where the 3s are. That shows your maximum temperature. Now, you might go a degree or so above that here and there, but for the most part, interior areas are around 3 or 4 degrees, and coastal areas 6 or 7 degrees for you. It might be even colder around the Catlins. Don't forget to check your local forecast. We've got hourly weather. This is not a main centre forecast. Just shows you the general spread to see where the warmest and coldest weather is, and you can quite clearly see where. So on Thursday, low pressure splits apart up here. Now this could drive in some heavy rain around the eastern side of the North Island. I know some of you are a bit over it. Hopefully, it's not too problematic, but it is worth keeping an eye on as we go through Thursday, because that low stuck there with this high expanding out against it kind of traps that rain stuck in that one spot. So that's why we're seeing rain and snow falling along the tops of the mountains and the ranges, and Central Plateau could be seeing some snow flurries around there as well, plus the ski fields. But it dries out down here as that frosty weather starts to grow, and it grows further on Friday as the high moves closer to us. The showers in the east, they mostly fade, but that low to the north drives in some rain, potentially heavy around parts of the far north and the upper part of Northland. Now the high is the controlling factor. Highs are like lungs, they can breathe in and that makes them expand out. And when that happens, it pushes things further away, but it can go the other way and it might shrink a little bit. And if it does that, the low could drop a little bit further and rain could come down maybe closer into Auckland and Coromandel. But for now, that is the expected forecast. As we go into Saturday, not a great deal of change. That low just to the north, heavy rain clipping the far north, and just a couple of showers remaining here, mostly higher up in the hills, but there are a few showers, maybe also around Wellington, but the high firmly in control. Big frosts on Saturday, severe frosts. I think we'll be seeing a -10 somewhere, somewhere around Tekapo or maybe somewhere around Queenstown. We'll keep an eye on that, but very cold weather does spread around the South Island on Saturday. And then it spreads further into the North Island on Sunday. As the wind eases and the showers ease, the frost risk expands around the North Island, but still up here in the north, a little windy, a little bit cloudy, and a few showers are still in the forecast, and a warmer northwest change starting to arrive here in Fiordland. That is all from me. I'll be back again tomorrow with our next update. We'll see you then.